Coaster History by Gil Chandler. The Russians built the very first gravity rides in the 1600s. In winter, they built high wooden ramps and covered them with water, which soon became ice. The ramps were about 2 feet, (0.6 meters) wide, just wide enough for a small sled. Passengers would climb a 70-foot, 21-meter ladder, then sit down on the sled. A helper pushed the sled onto the ramp. Down it went, speeding to the bottom of the hill and then coasting to a stop along a 600-foot, 183-meter straightaway. People in big cities and small villages enjoyed the ice slides. They were built outside in public parks and even inside fancy palaces. Some of the ramps had lanterns for night sliding. In the early 1800s, a French builder brought the Russian mountains to Paris, the capital of France. But Russia was much colder than France, where ice turned soft in the warmer, rainy winters. So the French ran their sleds over wooden rollers. This is the origin of the term roller coaster. Word bank. Golden age of roller coasters. A period during the 1920s when roller coasters were very popular. Gravity ride. Any ride that uses gravity for power. Theme park. An amusement park built around an idea such as a historical event or entertainment personality. Whiplash. A severe sprain of the neck caused by sudden movement or twisting to the head. Coasters across the Atlantic. In the 1870s, an old mining railway became the first gravity ride in the United States. This was the Mock Chunk Switchback Railway in Pennsylvania. A steam engine hauled the cars up a mountain. The cars then coasted down at 6 miles, 10 kilometers per hour. Passengers on the Mock Chunk Railway paid 5 cents a ride. In 1884, Lamarcus A. Thompson designed a new coaster for Coney Island, an amusement park in Brooklyn, New York. Thompson's Switchback Gravity Pleasure Railway was a big hit. Thompson built 44 more of these rides in North America and Europe. Other coaster inventors like Philip Hinkle and Lena Beecher began working at Coney Island. Hinkle was the first to use a chain lift to get his cars up the hill. Beecher built the flip-flap, the first coaster to run upside down through a loop. The cars had to go so fast to make it through the loop, however, that several riders suffered whiplash. The flip-flap soon shut down. By the 20th century, roller coasters had much more single cars and simple ramps. The builders put tracks through turns, hills, and figure eights. The inventor, John Miller, added a third set of wheels, known as undertrack wheels. The undertrack wheels held the cars firmly on the track at high speeds through sharp turns. The Cyclone, built in 1927, is still a popular ride today. It is one of the most copied roller coasters in the world, with 7 clones throughout the United States, Europe, and Japan. The Golden Age. Roller coasters were all the rage in the 1920s. Designers were making them taller, longer, and faster. Some lift hills climbed as high as 100 feet, 30 meters. The Coney Island Cyclone, built in 1927, rose 85 feet, 26 meters, and ran at 55 miles, 89 kilometers per hour over 8 steep hills. The Depression of the 1930s and World War II, in 1939 through 1945, put an end to this golden age of roller coasters. Fewer people were going to amusement parks. There was a shortage of the money and materials needed to build new rides. Instead of raising new coasters, workers were tearing down hundreds of them. Disneyland. In 1955, Walt Disney reversed this trend. He built a new amusement park in Anaheim, California. This was the first theme park, Disneyland. In 1959, the Matterhorn opened at Disneyland. This was a steel roller coaster that turned and twisted down the sides of a miniature steel and concrete mountain. At the end of the ride, the cars, 4-passenger bobsleds, splashed through a pool of water. It became one of the most popular rides in Disneyland. Other theme parks appeared around the country. Each had a new roller coaster. At Six Flags Over Mid-America In Eureka, Missouri, the Screamin' Eagle rose 134 meters. In 1975, it was the highest wooden coaster in the world. Number 1. Which of the following best summarizes the main idea of the article? A. The Golden Age was a popular time for roller coasters. B. Gravity rides have been built in many different countries. C. The Six Flags theme park had the tallest gravity ride in the world. D. Roller coasters have become more advanced as a result of many improvements. Number 2. Which two details from the text best support your answer to question 1? A. People in big cities and small villages enjoyed the ice slides. B. Other coaster inventors like Philip Hinkle and Lena Beecher began working at Coney Island. C. By the 20th century, roller coasters had much more than single cars and simple ramps. D. Roller coasters were all the rage in the 1920s. E. Instead of raising new coasters, workers were tearing down hundreds of them. Number 3, Part A. What was one way that the Matterhorn was different from earlier roller coasters and gravity rides? A. It was a steel roller coaster. B. It took more power to operate. C. It used more small cars to carry people. D. It used more than one car at a time. Part B. Select the best detail from the selection below that supports your answer to Part A. In 1955, Walt Disney reversed this trend. He built a new amusement park in Anaheim, California. This was the first theme park, Disneyland. In 1959, the Matterhorn opened at Disneyland. This was a steel roller coaster that turned and twisted down the sides of a miniature steel and concrete mountain. At the end of the ride, the cars, 4-passenger bobsleds, splashed through a pool of water. It became one of the most popular rides in Disneyland. Number 4. What was the impact of World War II on roller coasters? A. It allowed more roller coasters to be built on old mining tracks. B. It created a huge demand for roller coasters in the U.S. C. Many inventors began to design new roller coasters. D. Most roller coasters had to get torn down. Number 5. How tall was the ladder that passengers need to climb? A. 7-foot ladder. B. 17-foot ladder. C. 2-foot ladder. D. 70-foot ladder.